with coverage you can count on. This is the Erie News Nowcast.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Haley Potter. Thanks for joining us for tonight's edition of the Erie News Nowcast. So it's been a stormy evening out there, so we bring in John Stalen for a look at the forecast right now. John, what can we expect moving forward tonight?
Well, we still have some showers, thunderstorms into the area, not necessarily all the warnings that we had a little bit earlier. So let's take a look at what's going on as we head on into, of course, your first warning weather Doppler radar for you out here for you. You can see we do have that line of showers, thunderstorms still making its way, but the intensity is far less than it was a little bit earlier. So let's take a look. I'm going to freeze this for you. Let's go up here to Jamestown. This is where we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect right now. So it's summertime. A lot of Erieites have maybe a camp up there, a cabin, doing a little vacationing, a little dinner up there at Chautauqua Lake. You can see there from Mayville down towards Sherman, we're seeing some heavier shower activity for you. So right along that edge, this is moving out to the east about 45 miles an hour or so. So if we take a look at this and draw a nice little line, you'll be able to see, I didn't do this very clearly because of racing, but you could see places like Chautauqua, Elm Tree, and that. So if you have friends out there, if you're doing a little vacationing, you can expect some heavier storms moving on into your neck of the woods. As we take a look at Erie, you can see just a light shower left over here. A little bit of concern down to the south. You can see right towards Mill Village, out towards south of Waterford, seeing some moderate showers out towards LaBeouf and a little bit of lightning still. These storms still packing a little bit of punch, maybe about 40-mile-an-hour winds as they move on through the northern portions of Crawford County, so watch out there. Hayfield out there, you're seeing some heavier showers, and we head on our way out towards Meadville, just on the edge of any kind of heavier shower activity for you. I'm looking for the Meadville cam for you to show you. Let's see what's going on in Meadville, and you can see the darkening skies, but some clearing skies behind it too. So that, of course, is good news. So what we can expect for the rest of the night, Haley, which was your original question, still the chances of maybe some showers on the overnight. They could be heavy at times too. Temperature is going to be into the 70s, but we could still see some heavy downpour, especially near the lakeshore as we head on into the evening hours, and then some scattered showers throughout tomorrow morning. And then as we head through the weekend, I'll give you the 7-day outlook. Why not? A little bonus coverage here for you as soon as I can find it here on Doppler Max. I'll give you the 7-day outlook as we head on in towards the weekend. Temperatures staying into the 80s, but barely. We're going to be into the upper 70s too, probably Friday, Saturday in some locations, but still going to be wet out there. I hopefully that you did cut the grass today, because it's going to be a wet one over the course of the next few days. Of course, we'll have more on your forecast coming up tonight at 10 and 11 on Erie News Now.
Thanks, John. And tonight, the result of an investigation into the ongoing abuse scandal at Catholic churches across the nation. Pennsylvania lawmakers are making a strong push to allow victims of Catholic sexual abuse to have their day in court, regardless of when the incident occurred. Tonight, we're asking the question, should that window be opened? And if so, how does that impact the Erie Catholic Diocese? Isaac Petcash has our story.
Less than a month from today, a legal window will shut in New York, a window that allows survivors of abuse from the Catholic Church to have their day in court, regardless of how many years it's been since the incident. Attorney Steve Boyd has been at the forefront of these cases, representing survivors. He says he's never been busier in his life.
The Diocese of Buffalo, we're approaching 350 clients. The Diocese of Rochester, which is a much smaller city, about 169 clients.
Boyd believes most to all of those clients would not have come forward if not for this window. He says many are over the age of 50, meaning it takes an opening like this to even feel comfortable speaking their story.
They're sexually abused by somebody. That person has great power over them because of the type of secrecy involved, because of the fact that the people who survived this were children when it happened. It takes more time for them to come forward with that.
This is where Pennsylvania comes into play. Legislators, political leaders, and survivors have asked for a period similar to the one in New York, where they don't have to worry about the statute of limitations written in law. And from his experience, Boyd attests that enacting this legislation would help mend the past and secure the future.
It is important that people get a chance to have their day in court, to confront the predator, to make a public filing to say, I affirm under penalty of perjury that this did happen to me. And And that will increase child protection because some of these predators are still in ministry.
From the diocese perspective, Bishop Lawrence Persico always wants survivors to be able to come and speak their story if they feel comfortable. But he's worried about a window opening from a financial perspective. If indeed that was to occur, he says the money could run dry in both the church and the Diocese of Erie.
It certainly would be a financial burden for us. I mean, it could even lead, depending on what comes out of it, it could lead to possible bankruptcy.
If the diocese were to go bankrupt, Persico says a victim could still get a court date, but there's no guarantee of getting money if the money isn't there.
Whatever the assets that you have that are able to be used, that's it. So there's no more, because, you know, some victims can get a set amount, others may not. It just depends.
So does that mean opening a legal window just like New York did isn't worth the time? Persico says not necessarily, but he tells us it might not make sense to keep victims waiting and waiting to get their day in court.
As some senators even said, well, you know, pass the law and let it be fought out in court. Well, the problem with that is the victims are still on hold.
But from Boyd's perspective, it's a simple equation. Give victims the chance to come forward and let it play out from there.
Look, if we bring a claim and it's not a valid claim, that will be proven out. But the reality is the diocese doesn't even want to defend these claims.
Thank you, Isaac. And police in Jamestown, New York have made an arrest connected to a suspicious death investigation of a Jamestown woman. Jamestown police say 32-year-old Jeffrey Giannotti was found inside a home on Price Street while officers performed a welfare check inside the residence Tuesday afternoon. Police responded to their home at the victim's family had not heard from her in several days. While searching the house, officers say they found the body of a woman who appeared to have been dead for several days. Investigators also say they recovered a .22 caliber rifle. However, the weapon is not believed to have been involved in the death of this woman. And Giannotti is convicted of felon and has been charged with 4th-degree criminal possession of a weapon. Neighbors tell us they're concerned about the safety in their neighborhood.
There's caution tape wrapped around everything. Street was completely blocked off, and they arrested some male. It's scary because we really like it here, and to know something like that happened so close by, that we just hope that they get this person or persons that have done this to this person, hopefully, and things can settle down.
The investigation into the circumstances of the woman's death does continue. Jamestown police are asking that anyone with information on the situation call their tip line at 716-483-8477. Vaccinations have slowed down considerably across our region. Right now, roughly 54% of adults have been fully vaccinated against COVID-19 in our region. Compare that to the state. According to the latest state data, roughly 61.5% of adults have been fully vaccinated. We have all this data and more on our website, erienewsnow.com/vaccine. And new tonight, state police say they have seen an uptick in identity theft cases connected with unemployment claims. If you receive a notice about an unemployment claim despite not filing one, you could be a victim of identity theft. If you suspect someone is using your information, the Department of Labor and Industry wants to hear from you. You can file a report online, or you can call the Pennsylvania Fraud Hotline. We have links to the digital form, including the information you'll need to file a claim, on our website, erienewsnow.com. And if you're behind on utility bills because of the pandemic and haven't worked out a plan with your utility company, the deadline has moved up a little bit. Today, the Public Utilities Commission adopted an order that changes the deadline on pandemic-related utility plans. Originally, you had until the end of the year to work something out with your utility provider. Today's order moves that deadline up to the end of September. After that date, arrangements will no longer have the consumer protections attached because of the pandemic. The Commission says today's changes fall in line with rules ending Pennsylvania's disaster declaration. And we're now less than a month away from August 14th, a date that's getting a whole lot of local love, all because of its numeric ties to our area code. Erie Mayor Joe Schember is detailing new activities tied to what's coming to be known as 814 Day. For the second straight summer, the annual Downtown Erie party, known as Celebrate Erie, fell victim to the pandemic. But fans of the musical portion of that event are now gearing up for an 814 Day long concert on Saturday, August 14th. And new tonight and happening right now is a downtown Erie scavenger hunt that kicked off at 8:14. Yes, that's 814. A prize of $1,000 is up for grabs. As part of the legendary scavenger hunt, participants in the free scavenger hunt will follow the ghosts of Ebenezer Crosby, a master shipbuilder hired by Daniel Dobbins in 1812 to lead construction of Oliver Hazard Perry's fleet during the War of 1812. They will visit 12 different locations to find Crosby's fortune. The scavenger hunt will award 10 points for each location visited and 10 points for each challenge question answered correctly. Anyone who discovers all 12 locations and scores at least 200 points in the challenge will be entered to win $1,000. The scavenger hunt is part of the 814 Summer Experience, which includes a music festival and family movie night on August 14th. Thanks for joining us for the Erie News Nowcast. Join us for our next news at 10 p.m. on the CW and 11 p.m. on WICU and WSEE. Have a great night.